Yo guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I'm going to show you guys the best settings that you need to be running in the Black Ops 6 beta on PC. Quick before we do get into today's video, if you are new and be sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications so you don't miss any more videos on the channel. If you do enjoy it, smash thumbs up and let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Let's jump straight into it right now. Okay guys, so obviously what we're going to do is we're going to come over to our settings to start us off, and I'm just going to go through all the different settings that I've changed, whether it's controller settings, input settings, graphic settings, all that sort of stuff. I don't play keyboard and mouse, so I'm only going to be showing controller settings in this video along with my graphics and stuff like that, so just bear that in mind if you are a keyboard player. But let's go through the controller settings first, guys. So my button layout is tactical. I love how tactical works. I've got paddles on the back of my controller. It works pretty nicely for that. That's just how I've always played. And obviously you guys have probably got your personal preference anyway. Same with stick layout. Horizontal sensitivity, I've got that about 1.5. I sort of found that as a bit of a sweet spot right now. But again, this is all personal preference when it comes to sensitivity. You guys might like it slower. You might like it faster. Mess about with it. If you don't know where to start, put it the same as mine at 1.5. If it feels too fast, just turn it down. If it feels too slow, turn it up. Adjust it to whatever feels good for you. Simple control, all of these are turned off. Bumper pings off. Swap LT and all of those are off. Controller vibration I have turned off. I never have controller vibration turned on Call of Duty, and most people don't either. And then again, dead zone inputs are going to be entirely down to how your controller responds. If you've got stick drift, if you've got a brand new controller, an older controller, you're going to need to adjust this slightly so you don't get as much stick drift. What you guys want to do is put all of the minimums at literally down to 1. Put it all the way down to the bottom and then test your controller. Go to the test dead zone, turn that on, move your analog sticks around, see if any of them bounce off in different angles. And if they do, then just slowly increase the dead zone input by 1. And do that until you get to a point where the analogs aren't moving by themselves at all, so you get the perfect dead zone settings for your controller. Now, when it comes to aiming, sensitivity multiplier is one that I turned down myself. I run these settings here if you guys wanted to go for whatever I go for. Some people don't change these, some people do. I personally like to change them, but again, that's all down to personal preference, just like normal sensitivity is. Look inversion is just standard. Aiming advanced settings, guys, we are going to change our ADS sensitivity transition timing to instant. This is massive. You definitely want to do that, because the sensitivity multipliers that I just spoke about, if you have those active, then as soon as you press your left trigger in, that is going to kick into action. Then them ADS settings are going to kick into action, so I definitely recommend you do that. And then for your aim response turf type, guys, we are going to have that on dynamic. And then custom sensitivity per zoom, again, if you want to adjust these, you can go ahead and do so. Again, as you can see, I've changed all of mine to around about 0.9 or 0.85. So now if we do go back, we can come over to movement. Sprint assist I have on, and as you can see there, my settings right there. Sprint assist sideways and backwards are both also turned on, and then the delay is on 0. Mantle assist is off. Crouch assist is off. Corner slice I have on. Again, personal preference for corner slice. What this basically means, if you've got this on, if you're slightly peeking around a corner, your character will lean left and right ever so slightly. I like it on. I don't think it's a bad feature. Some people don't like it. They can have that turned off. Again, it's up to you. Wall jump assist I have off. Active roll assist also off. Slide dive behavior, I'm going to change this to hybrid, guys. And honestly, with this one and Black Ops 7 so far, what I found is you either want to run tap to slide or hybrid, and it is entirely up to you. Personally, I'm running hybrid, but like I said, do whichever one suits you the best. Hybrid for me is the best. I see a lot of other people running hybrid as well. Delay is going to be on medium, but you can't change that one anyway. Automatic airborne mantle is off. Sprint restore is turned on. We have slide maintain sprint on. Wingsuit activation manual. Wall jump activation on press. We've got slide active / roll behavior. Tap to slide. Active roll camera is going to be third person. And then for the movement advanced settings, guys, I have my sprint / tactical sprint behavior on toggle. Auto move forward off. Auto door peek off. Ground mantle on. Tactical sprint activation, single tap run. And what this is going to do, guys, is every time I just move my analog stick forward, it's basically going to make me start tactical sprinting, which is great. We're going to plunging underwater on trigger, and then sprinting door bash we also have turned on. And then finally, I'm going to slowly scroll through all of my combat settings, but I don't remember changing anything on here that I can remember. But if any of them look differently to what you've got, then again, you can just go ahead and change them for the ones that you do have. And then in the advanced settings as well, these are the ones that I've got as well, just so you guys can see exactly what is there. But again, I don't think I changed anything in those. So now let's move on to the graphic settings. And this has actually been very important for me, because I've watched 2 or 3 videos before I even played the game on graphic settings that people recommended. So I thought I'd try them out. I tried them, and the game genuinely looked like it was made for a PS3. The graphics were awful. They were horrific. So what I've tried to do with my graphic settings is give us the best FPS possible, but also still make the game look like a new gen game, like a brand new game. Like, I didn't want the graphics to be absolutely horrific, because I mean, unless you're playing at the top level, I don't think you need to completely sacrifice the way the game looks for an extra 20 frames. It's not really going to make much difference to a casual player. So what I've gone for the display, guys, is I play full screen borderless. If you can play full screen, but I like to just tab between my recording software and the game and whatever it is I'm doing, so it makes it easier for me. Display monitor, of course, you can have it on your automatic one. Your screen refresh rate, you want that as high as it can be. Same with your display resolution. Then for your aspect ratio, it's going to be automatic, restart shaders, all of this sort of stuff we're not going to really be taking. And then for your NVIDIA Reflex low latency, guys, I've got this on. I do see a lot of people running this on and boost. If you've got a lot of CPU usage available as well, like a good CPU and a good GPU, you can do that. But for me, where I've got a lot running on my CPU, I just have that turned on. Eco mode preset is going to be custom. VSync off, VSync menus are just off in gameplay and menus. And then custom frame rate, guys, you can adjust this to what you want. My refresh rate is 122 hertz. I don't need to have much more frames than that. I don't need the PC to work harder than it needs to be. I just cap it at 120 frames in game. The frame limit in menus is capped at 60. I don't need it working any harder than that. Then when I'm tabbed out, it's at 30. Adjust that to whatever you guys want. So this reduce menu render resolution, I literally have this on maximum. So as soon as I'm tabbed out of the game or the menu isn't active, it just basically runs the game as minimal as it can, which is great. Pause game while rendering turned on. Reduce quality when inactive is off, and then focus mode is on 0. Now over to the quality, guys. Graphic preset is whatever. You don't need to have that on recommended. Render resolution is 1440p. Dynamic resolution is going to be off. And then for your upscaling and sharpening, guys, Fidelity CAS is the one that you guys want to be running. Definitely recommend running that. Makes the game look so much sharper. Just makes the graphics overall look a lot better. AMD FSR is off. VRAM scale target is 80. Variable RAID shading is on. We've then got texture resolution is very low. So I'm not going to go through each and every setting, just reading them all out to you guys, because you can pretty much follow along. But I'll just go through the settings. So if you are going through them, we're going to start with texture resolution, and I'm just going to read off the ones that I've got, so you guys can do this perfectly alongside me. So texture resolution is very low. Then we're on low, off, low, on. The bullet impacts and persistent effects are entirely up to you. I just like it. I just feel like it makes the game look a little bit nicer. You know, you've got bullet holes in the walls where you've actually been shooting. If you want slightly better frames, turn it off, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. Like I said, unless you're competing at the top level, you ain't really going to notice it. Shader quality is on low. On-demand texture streaming is going to be on minimal. Local texture streaming quality is on low. Shadow quality is low. Then we've got screen space shadows off. We're on low, off, low. Terrain quality, low, off, off. So like I said, with this, guys, what I have done is I've made the settings as low as possible so we get the best frames possible. But I've also done it so the game doesn't look totally horrific. So it doesn't look like a game that was made for a PS3 that has got really bad graphics and you probably wouldn't be playing. Because believe me, I was running around at some point and I looked like I was playing on a Nintendo 64 or something. The graphics were just that bad. There was that much grain on the screen. It looked absolutely awful. Then the final couple settings, guys, you are going to want to change is when we come over to the view. Motion reset is all off. Field of view, I have put at 120. I personally prefer at 120. Again, whatever you guys like to run, just run that for your one. The other ones you want to turn off, guys, are your weapon blur and motion blur. You definitely want to be turning those off. And if you don't like flashbangs, making your screen ridiculously white and bright, you can actually change this to on. And then what it's going to do is when you get flashbanged, it'll make your screen just go black rather than white. So if you don't know how flashbangs look, you can do that. Audio is one that I haven't really touched too much. I play headphone bass boosted if that's a setting that you wanted to know. Mono audio you don't want on because it's just going to make all your sound go to one ear rather than both of them. Mute gain when minimized off. All of this is just like pretty much standard as it comes. And then for the interface, guys, I actually do come down here. It comes to telemetry, and this is where you can bring up your FPS counter, your GPU temp, your packet loss, server latency, whatever it is that you guys do want to have available there to be able to see whilst you are in game. Hopefully, guys, this video has helped you out, and hopefully it hasn't been too long as well. Hopefully it was a nice, short enough video where we go over graphic settings, controller settings, and just other settings that you need to change in the Black Ops 7 beta. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, please be sure to do me a favor and smash a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, notifications, turn off the other radio. Make sure you do let me know if you've got any more questions in the comments below. But I'm going to leave it there, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one in a bit. Peace.